Hello everybody, I welcome to another episode of Micks Mowers. In today's episode we're going to be carrying on with the Ransom Marquis, one with the BSA sloper engine. Now in the last video you saw me struggle to remove the cogs. In this video the cogs have now been removed, but I should tell you how it was done. It wasn't done by me, it was done by a complete stranger who I messaged on Facebook. I put a post out saying I need some help. Can anyone help me out with this? And this fella called Joe, he's ex-forces. He came up and said, yeah, he'd do it, and he'd do it for nothing. He'd do it completely free of charge because Mrs. P works for the NHS. So what a super fantastic bloke. I've taken some photographs, which I shall show you how it was removed. Lots of people say to use chain wrenches, this, that and the other to remove these cogs. These cogs were on there, and I mean, even with after how Joe removed them, they were on there proper. I dare say they hadn't been off since day one, and this machine's 50 years old. So, without further ado, let's get down and dirty. Let's have a look, see how far we've got with this Ransom Marquis, and I'll show you how we got removed. Right, so pretty much, my theory was to weld a nut onto the centre of the cog, and to put an impact on there or a wrench, which is one idea. That's the idea I had. But Joe came up with the idea of saying, instead of that, why don't we just weld 2 bolts onto it, and then we get a breaker bar in between, and we'll jam the roller and the blade shut, and put a breaker bar in, and then goes that way, and then we'll undo them. These are both left-hand threads on the cogs, on the roller and on the blades. They're both a left-hand thread, so don't go doing it lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. It's opposite, okay? So now, undo it that way. I'll just show you the drive cog. I'll get it off. There it is. There's a drive cog, and I just started to cut the bolts off when I was round at Joe's place, but I'm going to be doing it on the Vita because the weather's starting to rain and wanted to get on, and Joe couldn't find a span or something for his 240 volt grinder, so I said, well, I'll do it when I get in. So he's left the bolts on that one, but they're threaded all the way through, and then just welded on the back. So it's actually a separate cog, just been welded with a metal shaft. And literally all you do is you just weld the 2 bolts on, bom bom, put the bar in, and with lots of heat, get it cherry red, and it comes off. Lots of people just say put a chain wrench on there and they'll come off. Once you break the seal, they come off like butter. I'm telling you, that front one did not come off like butter at all. In fact, to say, the cog is now slightly bent in one area, just here. So what I need to do is put that into a vise and then just remachine that, just bash it with a hammer, heat it up, and put it back to where it should be. It hasn't got to be an exact science, it's got to be somewhere close, but I've got a bit of grinding to do, a bit of filing to do, just to tidy the teeth back up, because it's quite a small work area there. But the main cog for the drive is actually pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in a vise. You haven't got to see me do it. Just going to use a cutting disc just to cut these welds off, and then a flappy disc just to grind it down, tidy it back up so they're done. So that's what I'm going to do it now. And when I've done that, we'll come back and we'll move on with the rest of the removal. Okay, so now with the what's left of the mower up on the bench, I've got to do the cogs later on, grind them off. But I'm trying to get this roller out now. This is a split roller, so it's a 1/2 inch socket. I think it's 3 bolts this side, 3 bolts the other. Hopefully they'll come undone with no issues. Yeah, lovely. Oh, they're rolling off now. I'm trying to run away because I'm undoing it. So, that one. That one. And I'll just turn it round and we'll undo the other side. Right, with the lawnmower now spun round, we can now undo these 3 bolts, which is exactly the same as the other side. A bit more room to get my dewalt in there. 1, 2. Cool. There's always one. Don't want to come, so let's get a breaker on that. This machine is certainly hanging on to the last of its secrets. It doesn't want to give it up, but it will do. So put a breaker bar on there. That's it. That wasn't on too tight, to be fair. I'm surprised that D-walk never took it off. Mind you, D-walk's only on setting number 2, so that might be why. So that one comes off. Run the rest of these off. And see it just dropped down like that. So that tells me that now we should be able to pick up this part of the machine. He says that should just fall out. Got one side coming. There it goes. And that's a roller now removed from the machine, and there's no spaces or anything on the inside of that framework. So now we have the roller out. Let me pick up these bolts. Don't be losing no bits and pieces, no bits and bobs. Pick all them up. Put them to one side. Now what I could do actually, just to be a bit cute, is I'm going to wind them back into the housings, because of different sizes on different bits of equipment. So let's just put these on very quickly. I'll probably edit it out. You don't need to see me do 6 bolts. But I may have to come back off again to split this roller, because I think the roller does need to be split. Because at the moment it's not turning independently, but I don't think that's going to be an easy thing itself. Because the roller needs to turn independently, because it is a split roller. Let's put them in there. That's the last one. I'll just go around with the old D-walk gun and just nip them up. Just so we know where we are. Try and keep all the bits together, that way you know it's going to be apart for a little while this, so just nip them up so they don't come and get off. Turn that round. Let's have a quick inspection of this. It's got like a big circlip in there. There's a circlip there by the looks of it, and a big spacer flathead driver there. That spins quite free, to be fair. I've not seen a grease nipple. Got some big bolts inside it. Let's tip it up and look inside. Yeah, big bolt inside. There's actually a number on here. It says MBA 1622. I'm not seeing it as a grease nipple at the top, I think I can see. Just trying a quick little feel of that, see what that is. That looks like a grease nipple, feels like a grease nipple. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, it could be an old grease nipple up there. This is going to be soaked in oil and what have you, to try and encourage this roller to split roll. And we'll see how we get on, but at least now we've got the chassis completely apart. The roller's now off. I'll probably end up just cleaning that off and Amorite silver with that. That's where all the weight is on that piece of equipment. And now all we're left with here, that's light, is the actual chassis to the whole lawnmower. And as you can see, other than just this back piece of metal here, it's got to come off. It's actually in really good nick. It's actually in good condition. That's got a little rubber bushing there. Yeah, a little rubber grommet there. So now we can start cleaning this all down, get it all sorted out. I don't know if this plate comes apart. I've got a big bolt here, which is for this one. So we can clean it all down now, sand it all down, and we can now start the process. So super happy. Right, so all I'm going to be doing now is literally going to be hitting this with a wire brush, different types of wire brushes, hand brushes, power brushes, sander brushes. Taking most of this stuff where I can. It'll be degreased, have oil put on it, it'll be sanded back off again, degreased again, just a process. And then once it's been fully sanded back, I'm going to rust treat it with two products, one with a Cure Rust anti-rust agent, and then once with a red oxide primer, which should be painted on. And then once that's all gone off, this part will be done, and it's going to be a repeat process for everything that needs to be painted green. So lots and lots and lots of grinding and what have you. So what I'll do is I'll get this bit done first, give it the first working over, and then I'll come back when it's done and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so that is now been ground down with wire brushes, scrapers, bits and pieces. Got to blow it off with an air compressor. And then I'm going to rust treat it and then treat it with a red oxide primer underneath. So when you come back, this will be all treated and looking lovely and red. I shan't video me painting it. There's just absolutely no sense in that at all. And as I say, when you come back, it'll look nice and red, and then it'll be rested for a couple of days before I can apply the green. I'm going to leave this on this bar for now, but I need to get a new one of those made up. So that's just stay on just to keep the machine square, and then hopefully I'll get a new one made up and put a new one on. I'm going to make two. I'll make one as it is, and I'll make another one with a 90-degree angle on it, so I can put a tow bar on it and hopefully buy a seat with a roller for this. So that's the plan anyway. So see in 2 ticks once I've got it covered in red primer and treated with rust. Okay, so there's the inside of the Marquis. Had its first coat of rust treatment and now red oxide on top. The red oxide was on there, the rust was on there for about 25 minutes and then notched back, and then it's had its first coat of primer, and already it's looking better already. So let me just turn it over. I haven't painted these top bits because obviously that's where it's going to rub against the ground, but that will be treated separately once it's all been painted. I can leave this overnight in this position. As I say, this bar will be coming off, but I'm leaving it on there just to keep the chassis not nice and true. It shouldn't move too much about it, but I'm not willing to move it until that time. So let me turn it over and I'll get the other side done, and then I'll come back and show you what the top side looks like. Right, and there you go. That's the chassis now all painted. It's had 2 coats of the red primer. Looks really, really good. This will now be left for at least 2 days, maybe even more, depending on how I get on with the rest of the other stuff. So some bits you're going to see me do, some bits you're not. I've got to do the side cover, I've got to do the fuel tank, I've got to do the blade shield, and some other bits and pieces. Same process, sanding down and painting. But as and when I do them, I shall show you as and when they're done. But all in all, pretty happy with the way it looks now. Not bad from it's about 50, 60 years old. I've been set up for at least 10 years that I know of, so super happy. Right, so that's all the bits now had their primer. I've just finished doing the tank. This is the next day, so just finished doing the tank. It's all going to have another coat of this red oxide stuff. I've done the tank, the pull cord. I've also done the back blade guard, the side cover, the recoil assembly, and the chassis is over behind. I've also done the handlebars as well. They've had a coat, and the little tiny silver section that is in the middle, that's had a coat of silver, which is right over the back next to the exhaust pipe. And also I managed to win on eBay an original exhaust pipe for it, which is in good condition actually. So that exhaust pipe over the back won't be used. I'll either sell it or have it as a spare, but I've got the original coming, so super happy with that. So I'm going to get on and do these second coats, and then I'll come back once I've done that. Okay, so that's this part of this video now finished. All the parts have now had a second coat of the red oxide, and that's now going to be dried till the next day. So the next process is going to be, I need to get the cogs reground so that where we weld the bolts on, that can come off. I need to heat one of them up and just bend it back into shape. It's ever so slightly out of shape. Nothing critical, I don't believe, but hopefully I can get them back to where they need to be. I picked up myself a nice Mac gas torch the other day because the blow lamp I've got just isn't producing the heat I need. So I picked up one of those. I can heat that up and then grind all that off, so that'll be done. I need to try and order up a new back blade where it goes in the back of the roller. I need to try and get one of those if I can, or get one made up. And also I need to try and get the back cutting blade off of the cutting cylinder, because I'm going to send it off to be reground, and they need to have the blade off, I believe, to do that. So I need to try and do that. That'll involve a bit of heat and a bit of therapy to try and get that cutting blade off of that as well. Give that a general clean up, and then we'll be good to go. However, if this is your first time watching Micks Mowers, hit the old subscribe button, whack the old bell, and set notifications to all. That way you'll be told that one, I've done a video, or two, I'm on my Saturday night weekly live stream between 6 PM and 9 PM UK time. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Micks Mowers. Any comments you've got down below, stick them down there. Give us a thumbs up on your way out. It'd be much appreciated. It helps towards growth of my channel. I look forward to seeing the next episode of Micks Mowers very, very soon. But until then, people, don't forget, more importantly, take her easy.